This guy is powerful. He don't have a fear factor in him. Yeah, he don't care.
I think there's a huge amount of jeopardy in the fight, and in the heavyweight division it's very different. It's not like these guys are middleweights and one guy can't hurt each other, and Ngannou has very heavy hands, he's super strong and he has no fear. So on paper AJ should be too good for him, but you know that every time AJ throws, Ngannou's going to be throwing with him. He's going to try and walk him down, he's going to try and knock him out, and I just want this fight done and dusted. Like, when this fight's over, whether it's the final bell and he wins on points or whether Ngannou's out on the floor, I'll be over the moon. Because there isn't much for us to gain in this fight. Financially, we understand, and you know, but really he wants to go on and... Look, if Fury can beat Usyk and AJ can knock out Ngannou, you got yourself the biggest fight of all time.
Whoa, I think, mate, may the best man win. I think they got like quite similar... I don't know, obviously Joshua's way more experienced in boxing, but Ngannou, come on, in UFC, and also he started in boxing, and he's got great power, and he showed everyone what he's made of with a fight against Fury. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good fight, man. I think I'm looking forward to it.
I think AJ's like laser focused right now, so I think Ngannou proved that he can go in there inside the boxing ring and hold his own. But I think the fact that AJ is laser focused, I think he's going to beat him. Yeah, and no disrespect to Ngannou.
I think they'll both throw punches at each other, and then one will land one big one. I think in this one there's more chance of a big one landing and someone going to the floor, not getting up or being stopped by the ref. Therefore it will become a stoppage because he's hitting too hard. Joshua will punch him more times, but probably more harder.
Ngannou we know he's a puncher, and he's tough, he's a rough house. If he catches AJ on the chin, will he knock him over? We know he knocked over Tyson. So you've got to feel that would be the case. Can he do it, is the question. And AJ seems to have the bullet, the bit between his teeth again. He's flying, and he knows it's a fight that he certainly can't afford to lose. This fight's got all the elements of everything. It will be chaos for the loser, because the loser is out of it. He's out of the top. He's finished.
I think AJ should win. The better fundamentals in boxing, the experiences with AJ, and obviously the boxing ability. But this is an elite fighter, an elite MMA fighter, was a champion, and he was a boxer before. So I heard he boxed as a youngster, so he did have boxing experience, and because he doesn't look like a raw novice. You know, when someone says, oh, he's won it, look, he was not a raw novice. Do you know what I mean? He had fight experience, and then obviously, he's been boxing first, and that seemed to not be the chosen route. He went to MMA once he came to Europe. So I mean, he's an elite guy, and he understands what elite athletes go through, the fighting mentality, the toughness, what you go through. Getting kicked in the head is not easy. Getting taken down and elbowed in the face is not easy. And those are a lot harder than getting punched in the face. But sometimes when you get hit on the sweet spot, it's something different as well. I think an uppercut could be good, because we didn't see him get caught with, and AJ throws a good uppercut. So anything's possible. But I mean, look, I think if AJ's smart, he boxes his ear off. If he sees any dents, any chinks down the stretch as the fight closes out, and if he shows any signs of tiredness, if he goes to the body, then he maybe can step it up. But he doesn't need to engage with someone with that much power, because he's good at left hooks, and he's good at throwing them big old meat cleavers, them bombs, as we saw. And the uppercut was great as well. What he done to Overeem, and he nearly took his head off.
I think it's a sticky fight for Joshua, I'm not going to lie. I feel like he should win being, if he boxes and moves, but, if you can't move in front of Ngannou, he's going to walk you down all night, and you're not going to knock Ngannou out, are you? Tyson hit him with everything and put the kitchen sink and didn't wobble the man. And I just feel like the pressure for Ngannou, it could tell late on with Joshua, just because he's gassed in a few fights, but for one thing's for sure, it's going to be a fight for the fans. I feel it's going to be a slugfest, and I can't wait. But big up Ngannou, he's come from nowhere, hasn't he? And to one of the best heavyweights in the world. So fair play to Ngannou, one of the best things I've ever seen, to be fair.
It's going to be a huge event. The promo is one of the best things I've ever seen. But I expect Anthony Joshua to win. Just as I did with Tyson Fury, it went a bit... it didn't go as we all expected, but I think AJ will look very, very good.
I always said he needed to be taken seriously for at least 10 minutes against Fury. And I think in this fight, Joshua has to go out and dominate. Ngannou's a player in the heavyweight division now. Would you not see him in against Arslan Makhmudov? Would you not want to see him in against Deontay Wilder? Would you not want to see him in against Usyk? I mean, come on, what's Usyk going to do against him? I mean, Ngannou is an amazing character. He's taken his chance. I like a bit of crossover stuff. I think it generates interest. It brings the combat sports world together. And if Joshua doesn't impose himself, and I will repeat, his performance against Otto Wallin was amazing. Technically perfect for 15 minutes. Chopped the tree down, made the tree into logs, if you like, in a pile, on its stool in the corner. And I think Joshua's got to go out there. If he doesn't impose himself against Ngannou and doesn't make indents into him, doesn't make him respect his power, it's going to be a very tough 30-minute, 10-round fight. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Ngannou was an unknown until he fought Fury. We see that he's a mountain of a man, and he can obviously punch as well. But we've only seen him in against Fury, and I'm not sure how prepared Fury was mentally and physically to come up against someone of his stature, because he was a complete unknown. But now we've seen what he brings to the table. I believe he's tough. I believe he can punch, and he looks like he can take a punch. But with Joshua, you know, Joshua's got pedigree. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's been boxing a long time. His boxing ability is very good, and I believe that he'll just have a bit too much class and ability for Ngannou.
Ngannou is a big puncher and he's a fighter. AJ's never boxed anybody who's stronger than this guy. This guy's stronger than AJ. Yeah, this guy is powerful. He don't have a fear factor in him. Yeah, he don't care. Yeah, so it's gonna be exciting, bro. You know, what AJ has to do is get on the back and box.
I don't think it's going to be a very competitive fight. I think we know what to expect from Ngannou now, and Joshua's going to be full focus because he wants to do a better job on Ngannou than what Fury did, you know, to keep that discussion alive for them to fight. So I don't think that it'll be a very competitive fight. I think the one with Fury, I just think Fury took his eye off the ball and just said, just get me fit and get me out there, I'll get him out of there. You know, and that's the worst mistake he made, underestimating his opponent. So I just think that it's a bit of a pointless fight, I reckon, but you know, fair play to Ngannou, earning an absolute fortune, so fair play to him.
I remember thinking, in the build-up to the Fury fight, like of all the heavyweights he could have fought, Fury was the most difficult, in my opinion. Tricky, high fight IQ, tall, rangy, you know. This for me would have been a much better first boxing match out, because I kind of know what I'm dealing with Anthony Joshua a bit. He's really good basics. He's got good fundamentals. He doesn't have the same level of trickery that Fury's got. So I feel like this is an easier fight for Ngannou to really show what he's capable of. But the performance that he gave against Fury, now I don't know what to expect. Like I spoke to you, I picked Fury was going to win that fight. I was surprised as everybody else. And it's because Ngannou looked like a boxer. It's not that he looked like an MMA fighter that was effective in boxing. He looked like a boxer. He maintained his shape and composure. He was patient, you know, picked his shots, wasn't biting on any feints or anything, wasn't clinching. I honestly don't know what version to expect of Ngannou in this fight.
I think this is a 10-round exhibition, and sometimes it's hard to predict those exhibition fights. That's how I look at it. It's a money fight. It's a fight that catches eyeball, and everybody will pay attention to that fight just because their names are out there and just because who they are. But to me, the skill set of the fight is just not as much, because I predict Joshua to win. He probably win with a good victory, with a fantastic knockout. That's how I see it come. But when you look at the whole card on that night, I feel like I'm the main event. I'll steal the show.
He didn't go in the ring against Tyson Fury as someone that had just stepped into a boxing gym. He showed good ring craft. He showed how to block shots. He moved his feet well, and he waited for the timing to throw the shot. And when he threw it, he landed. And Francis obviously has most probably got to watch the fights of AJ, and he'll be usually confident. At the same time, he hasn't got to rely on just the one punch. But when you've got someone like that, he was a big puncher. You cannot rule that out. So AJ's got to be able to switch on for every second of every minute of every round.